Hello and welcome to the creation of a Cost Accounting Setup Transaction, or CAS, in AZ360. This is the 7th of 9 videos demonstrating this process. In this video, we will cover the completion of the CAS Funding Line tab. To get started in the Transaction Navigator section, we will click the Next button and will then select the Funding Line tab. Note that we will first be completing the Federal Funding Priority 10 line. We will then complete the State Funding Priority 10 line. In the tab level action section, click the plus icon to add a new funding line. Go ahead and click the expand caret on the blue line and scroll down. In the reimbursement options section, reimbursement eligible field, we will select yes from the drop down menu. In the reimbursement status field, we will select allowed for reimbursement. In the reimbursement frequency field, we will select daily. Okay. In the reimbursement output type field, we will select generate receivables only. In the reimbursement percentage field, we are entering 50. Keep in mind, in this training example, we are demonstrating a 50-50 split in this scenario. In the AR unit field, we will type in all. And in the customer ID field, we will click the pick list. And we will be utilizing a wildcard asterisk to help limit our results when searching for the customer in this case. Okay, in the legal name field, we will enter wildcard asterisk and then Department of Health, and then close wildcard asterisk, click search. And in the results that generate in the grid at the bottom here, when they render, we will be selecting Fed Agency 0009, Department of Health and Human Services. Note that the grantor from our example grant award is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which is a part of the Department of Health and Human Services. So in this case, this is the correct customer to select. Go ahead and click OK. In the billing profile field, we will go ahead and click the pick list as well. And from the results that generate in the grid, we will scroll down and select billing profile of cost for cost accounting billing profile. Go ahead and click OK. In the CMIA method dropdown, we will select average clearance. All right, click Save. We will then scroll back up to the reimbursement COA section. In the revenue field, we will click the pick list. In the revenue source field, we will enter 4211 and click search. And in the results that generate at the bottom, you'll note that the option here is federal grants operating. Note that this is the federal funding line on the eligible funding profile, so its revenue is federal. Revenue is the only required field in the reimbursement COA section. The remaining fields on this tab are completed based on department procedure. Go ahead and click OK. In the front end split COA section, note that all fields in this section are completed based on departmental procedure. In the FES fund field, we will enter the appropriate fund. In this scenario, we are entering AD2000. Keep in mind that Fund 2000 is the federal grants fund, and the funding line is for the federal grant. This field is being utilized in this example for training purposes only. In the FES sub-fund field, we will enter the appropriate sub-fund. In this scenario, we will utilize 200007. And in the FES appropriation unit field, we will enter the appropriate appropriation unit, in this scenario, AD20000. Note that the FES subfund and the FES appropriation unit fields are normally optional or dependent on departmental needs. These fields are being utilized in this example for training purposes only. Okay. We'll then navigate to the funding identification section. Notice that the fields in this section are blank. And will remain so in this example. The key federal funding information was entered in the program period tab already instead of this section. Okay, go ahead and click Save. We will now complete the funding line for the State Funding Priority 10 line. So we'll scroll back up, go ahead and click the plus icon in the tab level action section, and ensure that you have selected the second line in this case. Okay, go ahead and click the expand caret. In the reimbursement options section, reimbursement eligible field, we will select yes from the dropdown. In the reimbursement status field, we will select allowed for reimbursement. In the reimbursement frequency, we will select none. In the reimbursement output type field, we will also select none. In the reimbursement percentage, we will enter 50. Again, demonstrating that 50-50 split. Go ahead and click Save. Go ahead and click on the front end split COA section. Note that all fields in this section are completed based on departmental procedure. In the FES fund field, we will enter the appropriate fund. In this scenario, it will be 1,000. Keep in mind that Fund 1000 is the general fund, and this funding line is for the state-funded portion of the grant. Go ahead and click Validate to check for errors. If it has validated successfully, you will receive that transaction validated successfully message. And keep in mind, we have now completed the creation of the CAS funding line tab. Go ahead and close this window to return to the CBT.